Hey YouTube, I want to talk about the 12 laws from the Holy Gospel of 12, which I view as the law of the blood. And I want to sort of clarify that that's where I'm coming from, that that's what I searched through these books for, is the bloodline stories and how they actually apply to biology and not spirituality and religion and stuff like that. So just to clarify, that's how we're looking at it and how we're going to talk about it. So if that doesn't interest you, no problem. And also, within this conversation, we're going to talk a lot about animals and diet and stuff's going to come up. So if you're a big meat eater and that's your choice, like I've said many times before, that's fine with me. I don't care if that's your choice. I don't think I think that, you have your own path with that and that's fine. It's not what we're going to be talking about. So I want to say that these laws were written for a reason. And I'm sort of looking at this weird. So I've had a lot of criticism from people about the way I look at the camera and, endless criticism. Try not to let it get to me. I think because I sort of see this as an eye that I don't always like to look right at it. It has nothing to do with anything or anybody. It's just how that thing makes me feel. So I do kind of move around when I talk to it. And you know what? Stop analyzing the hell out of everybody. This isn't fair and this isn't helping anybody to do that. I'm getting a little sick of it. You can probably tell. But let's talk about the good stuff, right? So I'm going to go over the 12 laws from the Holy Gospel of 12, which to me are the laws of the blood. And we're going to start with number 1. Number 1 says, "You shall not take away the life of any creature for your pleasure, nor for your profit, nor torment it." These are all very straightforward, right? You shall not take away the life of any creature for your pleasure, for your profit, nor shall you torment it. So this is across the board. This includes, of course, eating flesh and blood. Of course, it includes any murder of any animal, and nor torment it. So to me, that goes along a lot with the dairy. And if you think about dairy, think of it as like human beings. Think about all the women being kidnapped and imprisoned and forced to breed and have their babies taken away from them and then milked for their milk and that being distributed everywhere. And imagine the milk cartons got little pictures of happy women out lounging in chairs somewhere or something, and that's how they promote it to you, the happy cows of California, and this kind of promotion of what this stuff is. And you got to bring it back to what it really is, which is enslavement, forced breeding, forced milking, abduction of babies. I don't know if you ever heard that story about the mama cow, and she had twins, and she hid one of them. It took the farmer a little while to figure it out. She was acting weird and stuff. Well, she knew the farmer would take her babies. So she hid one of them out by this pond somewhere, and he finally discovered that she had done that. And apparently this kind of woke this farmer up a little bit to his actions. So it's time to start putting this in real terms. This is why I said if you're a meat and dairy eater, don't bother watching this. It's not for you. It's for people who are actually interested in discussing this and looking at it and doing something to change it. And that's who I'm talking to right now. I'm talking to you guys who are as sick of this as I am, or are reaching that point, or just are starting to look at it. So it is not okay for us to hurt animals. It is not okay for us to torment them, imprison them, milk them, steal their babies, and create these lives where, that it's lives of torture. It's really, if you just feel into it a little bit, and it is sold to you the most normal thing in the world. Well, of course it is, because as I've said many times, we're in the dying cell. That's why I say, if you guys are meat eaters or whatever, just fine, do that work. That's your work that you're choosing to do. And I don't care. Everybody has a choice when it comes to this stuff. You can choose to do it, and you can choose not to do it. And I think there's a real thing on YouTube about attacking people's food choices. And I just don't get it. Who cares? Live and let live. And that's really how it should be. That's why I say I'm just talking to the people who want to hear this. So that's number one. It's one on the list. You know why it's one on the list? It's one on the list because it's the true human being. Oh, I wish I had that up here. What do I do with that? Oh, well, we'll just talk tonight. The true human being is a caretaker of animals, a lover of animals. Those are your best friends. That is the relationship. There is going to be, when things switch over, really what it should be. So while we're here, these are the laws of the blood for a reason. It corrupts your blood to do this stuff. And if you want to corrupt your blood, that's fine. It's fine. It's not like you're not going to be purified and it's going to be dealt with. We're all going to get purified. This is just for, this choice and that choice. Number 2, you shall not steal the goods of any, nor gather lands and riches to yourself beyond your need or use. So, you see, this corrupts you as well, to take things that don't belong to you. And this one, I think it's very interesting, to gather lands and riches to yourself beyond your need or use. So it's one thing to have what you need, right? And to me, in a modern vernacular, this is saying to live a simple life. Live a simple life. And, we live here in the U.S. in a country where it's really promoted that you live a pretty lavish life. It's lavish, whether people here know it or not. It is lavish. So, I have a very good friend who has a ton of properties. She's a beautiful woman. She's a wonderful woman. But I would say this would be her downfall. She has a lot of properties, a lot of land, a lot of stuff. A lot of vehicles and campers and just you name it. She's got it in excess. And she charges a lot of money for people to live on her properties and stuff like that. And, so she sits fat on the land. And I think for her, in the culture, she doesn't see anything wrong with that. Because people aren't living by these laws. These laws were actually completely corrupted and rewritten in the King James Version to be the 10 Commandments, and they don't include the necessary information. They're very corrupted. I'll speak out against that Bible any day of the week. And anyone who has a savior stuff, I'm not interested in hearing about it. You guys are sun worshipers. It's sun worship. All they have to do is change a vowel in a word, and everyone's so confused they don't even know what they're doing. Don't call names. You're not going to be saved by something outside of yourself. This is you doing what's right for your biology and the biology that you live within. So that's what we're talking about. 3, you shall not eat the flesh, nor drink the blood of any slaughtered creature, nor yet anything that brings disorder to your health or senses. So, I feel like reading that one again. You shall not eat the flesh, nor drink the blood of any slaughtered creature, nor yet anything that brings disorder to your health or senses. So, it's sort of reiterating, don't torture and do this stuff with animals. You don't slaughter them. You don't drink their flesh or drink their blood and eat their flesh. And blood is dairy. The dairy is full of mucus and blood. And of course, there's a whole culture that goes on outside of regular humans where they do drink blood and stuff like that. So, and they get all of us to do this sort of offhandedly. I had a commenter, going on about how eating meat is right, and it was a respectful person, so it's fine. Their comments are there. I don't remove people who are respectful. I don't. I block and remove a lot of people. Like I do every day. But if you're respectful and you're just offering your opinion and you even say something like out of respect, I'll leave it there. It's fine. You can have your opinion. It's fine. But, they're like, I'm not a hunter. I don't hunt and kill animals. Yeah, you let someone do it for you. You sit back and allow these people to do that for you, and you sit and feast and eat. And so in a way that is hypnotizing. It lulls people into this false sense of it being okay. Because if they were picking up the implements and tools and doing it themselves to get as much of the product as they actually eating, let me tell you, they're going to be thinking about it differently. Everybody, all the people would think about this differently if they actually had to get their hands dirty. And a lot of people who do get their hands dirty in this country are from Mexico. They made a whole movie about it. These people who are trying to get into the U.S. and stuff, and these are the jobs they give them, and it is traumatic. It's a really awful story, really. So if you want to keep your blood clean, you don't do this. So it also says, right, nor yet anything that brings disorder to your health or senses. So your health, it says this is going to include alcohol. This is going to include drugs, right? This is going to include, anything to your health or senses. Right off the bat, I'm thinking alcohol and drugs. There's probably other things that apply to that, but, smoking, excuse me. And people take part in this stuff. People are deep into this stuff, and I understand that. I'm going to read these laws out, and we're going to take a look at them. And if you want to take it in and consider it and stuff, which I think you should, consider it. You have to baby step your way through this. If you're someone who drinks alcohol a lot, smokes a lot of marijuana, I've smoked a lot of marijuana in my life. I'm just done with it now. I'm over it. I'm not doing it anymore. It brings disorder to my health and senses. I do think it is a medicine and an herb. And I do think herbs are okay. So I do think it is okay to ingest it to a degree. But if it's making you silly, maybe it's not awesome. But used medicinally, I've been in the sauna tonight, so I'm really needing to hydrate. You're catching me at a different kind of time of day. I usually make my videos in the afternoon when my dog takes his nap. So different mood. Number 4, you shall not make impure marriages, where love and health are not, nor corrupt yourselves, or any creature made pure by the holy. Now, some of the wording in these, I'm not going to fully agree with, because even though I think this is a less corrupted document, they all have some corruption. I fully recognize that, you guys. But pure is not a bad word. Okay, I want to state that right away. If we are biology, which we are, it is the obvious truth staring everyone in the face that you have been, sort of told to look the other way constantly, that you're a spirit and all this other nonsense. So, what I read into this is, okay, you shall not make impure marriages. I think that has a little bit to do with blood types here, because of the antigens in the blood, and there is an element of mixing blood types that has created a little bit of havoc here. I do think there's an element of that there. I don't want to emphasize it. It's a little late on that front to me, but it is why you used to have to get a blood test before you got married. Okay, because there are some people, Rh negatives, and who, they have issues breeding with Rh positives. So, where love and health are not, I think really stands out to me. And I have spent time in relationships, a marriage, where love and health were not. I'm not going to say love wasn't there, but health certainly wasn't, and it lacked love. It did, and it lacked love because of alcohol. So in a way, it was breaking two laws of the blood. So to me, this is really saying that, this is self-care. You have to care enough about yourself to be in situations where you are healthy and loved, because you can't have that for yourself when there's someone around you who treats you badly, doesn't respect you, doesn't honor you, and you should be honored. It's a fact, and that can be hard for a lot of people in a lot of situations, and I totally understand that. But it is time to say no to relationships that hurt you. It's hurting your biology. Let me say a little bit more about that at the end. 5, you shall not bear false witness against, sorry, let me start again. You shall not bear false witness against any, nor willfully deceive any by a lie to hurt them. This is huge, you guys. I don't know how many times this has happened to me. I don't understand this about people. You have a falling out with them, or something goes wrong in a relationship, and they run around trying to tell everybody that you're this horrible person. I call it playing victim, and I think they do it to garner sympathy and to get rid of you. They want to make sure that any mutual contact that they have with you, that those people drop you. They're creating a safety thing. It's victimhood. And, honestly, I'm just going to say that victimhood is toxic. It's super toxic. People who act like that are very toxic people. I've never understood this going around and lying about other people to people. If something bad happened, it's okay to be honest and say, I had this horrible experience with this person and it hurt me. Okay, but we're talking about false witness, at telling lies and deceiving others to hurt someone. And this is rampant in our society. It goes along with narcissistic behavior. And I think we've probably all run into it, or maybe some people are guilty of it. I've always been someone who sort of walked off into quiet places and just went, well, if they don't know me, then they don't know me. If they want to think something because so-and-so didn't like, I had this happen once with a woman when I said that I didn't want to go into business with her. I was entertaining the idea of going into business with her. It was, I used to have a raw food business, and I was a nutritionist for a while. I've done a lot of stuff, you guys. And I just I wasn't feeling this person. And I finally came to the conclusion, I don't want to go into business with her. I want to go into business by myself. I don't need a partner. And all I did was say to her, I don't think it's going to work out. I think I'm going to go in a different direction. I even said I'd be willing to help her if she had certain things come. If she wanted to go out on her own, I would come in certain points and give her a hand. But anyway, she went around I don't even know what she told people. Honestly, I have no idea what she said to people. But she pulled this, and I had some people say some really nasty things to me out of nowhere, people I'd never had an issue with. So some people are very good at swaying others' opinions with victimhood. So whether you have done this or had someone come to you with this stuff, it's really time to start letting these things fall away. Don't act like that, and don't let the people around you, don't enable others to act like this. Hold people accountable and responsible. 6, you shall not do unto others as you would not have others do unto you. Now, this particular one is repeated in reverse twice in this list. So to me, it stands out as something extremely important. I would even go so far as to say that if somebody were not as good at some of these other things, that if they were very good at this, that it would go a lot in their favor. Don't do things to people that you don't want done to you. Well, it's like kindergarten stuff, but it's amazing that we all struggle with these moments, don't we? 7 is the you shall revere. It says one eternal, but I don't like that wording. The father and the mother, of whom all things. I have a typo here on number 7, you guys. Basically, it's you shall revere the father and mother. And it says in heaven, to whom all things. My dog fell asleep. To whom all things. I have a cutoff on this and I can't read it. I apologize. But I probably would have reworded this one a little bit anyway. Because I certainly wouldn't use the word heaven. And these are the kinds of things I feel that they insert into our blood laws and blood stories and our book of our going into blue world documentation. They made it into a religion and stuff. So to me, the father and the mother are the father and the mother of the body that we live inside of. So they're very far away from us. But it is the life force that created the biology in which we live inside of. And I want to get deeper into those Russian doll concepts really soon because I just think it's so beautiful, you guys. And let's see, you shall revere your fathers and your mothers on earth, whose care is for you and all the teachers of righteousness. Which I think this is great. I mean, you revere your father and your mother on earth. That's really important. And I want to speak from this from an unusual perspective because I don't have a relationship with my father and my mother here on earth. They did care for me as a child, and I love them. I had a wonderful childhood, really, really beautiful. And I can't know them now. I think I've said before, my mom's a super narcissist and she has a hard time loving others. She struggles with a lot of this stuff. But what I've decided recently is I have this really beautiful picture of them. I keep one here and I keep one in another space of mine. And I more recently have pulled them out and I honor them. I honor them here. I honor them here within myself, and I thank them often for giving me life. And that's all I can do. And I'm going to choose to do that because they did give me life. And they chose to have me. And then it says, and all the teachers of righteousness. So we want to have reverence for those who are willing to say what is right. Not, and right means, you can feel right in your body. You can feel what that is. Like that is right. People who are conveying a message that feels right, you honor that kind of stuff. You're grateful because it affects people's lives in a positive aspect. Number 9, you shall cherish and protect the weak and those who are oppressed and all creatures that suffer wrong. That one makes me almost want to cry a little bit. And this is, I think, it goes back to number 1, doesn't it? About the animals. Cherish and protect the weak. Have you ever noticed that all the animals we eat are helpless creatures? They're not predators. They're not creatures who put up a fight. They're docile, sweet. I mean, you ever looked in these animals' eyes, these cows and these sheep, and oh, they're so sweet. I had chickens on this farm for a long time when I lived in California, and I just fell in love with them. I loved them so much. I haven't eaten chicken forever, never really even liked it, but these chickens just got to me. They're so funny. They're hilarious. They're like comedians. So all these animals that we prey upon they are the weak, oppressed, all creatures that suffer wrong. Cherish and protect. That's your job. You cherish and protect them. So, we're good at that with our domestic animals, aren't we? We're good at offering them the love and stuff. Most people are. Good people are. I see some stuff with domestic animals that's pretty upsetting, but I think for the most part, we love and cherish our pets, and it's just about broadening that viewpoint out to the rest of the animals. I studied animal communication down in LA for a while with the teacher down there, and I really wanted to do that as a career for a little bit, but every time I do the animal communications, it was always like an issue with the person, the owner, and I would try to convey the communication from the animal to the owner, and I'm hitting triggers all over the place. I got crying people and everyone's upset, and I just didn't like it. So I started talking to wild animals after that, and that really blew me open. Not all of them will talk to you, but there was so much beauty and strength there in the wild kingdom of animals, and we really need to start thinking of them in the same way, with the same kind of love and cherish and protect. And cherish and protect the weak. I mean, this applies to all living creatures, people and animals alike. 10. You shall work with your hands the things that are good and seemly. So shall you eat the fruits of the earth and live long in the land. I'm going to talk about this one a lot more in another video, because I think that it's a pretty expansive statement, and I don't want to get too lengthy here. You take it in the way that you take it in right now in this video. But, work with your hands the things that are good and seemly. And to me, that's living a life where your work is somewhat, I guess I see it as, it reminds me of when I lived on the farm and lived closer to the land and lived in the woods, that the work I did there was always with my hands, and it was to feed myself or to feed animals or to keep up the property. I think of art, people who create beautiful things for everyone to enjoy. Working with your hands is really good in whatever manner that comes. Some people are really good with a needle and a thread and sewing and making things. This applies to all kinds of things. But that is the work that is good and seemly. So many of us have jobs that are, some of these people work for Verizon and, just all these jobs where you sit and, I don't want to go too deep into that. And I understand that we all have to survive and get by in this world, and these are the jobs that they offer us. These are the lives that are being offered to us. And so, it's like I've said before, some of this, it's like baby steps. This for me is a baby step to get back to. I do still work with my hands, and I always have. I love to. But I'd like to get deeper into that one. So it also says, so shall you eat the fruits of the earth and to live long on the land. Well, that one to me is very obvious. That is the food. If you get deeper into the Holy Gospel of 12, it's very specific about eating fruit as your food, seeds, nuts, grains. And to me, that is the diet. Fruit, sprouted grains, nuts and seeds, and herbs. And you actually can do a lot with these foods. I've been eating this way for a while, and there's a lot of ways to be really creative with that. But I'll also say that's really hard for a lot of people, and I totally recognize that. If you, baby steps, just the intention, just the intention of I want to get closer to that. And no matter what your diet is, you can add those foods right now. You can eat more fruit, regardless of what your diet is. And you can sprout grains and nuts and seeds and make things from them and start trying it out. Because when it says, and live long in the land, that's what it means. This is the food that will help you to live long in the land. Okay? So 11, you shall purify yourselves daily and rest the seventh day from labor. And then it says, keeping holy the Sabbath and the festival of your Creator, which I think is infestation right there. So, but let's talk about it anyway, because I do love this one. So you shall purify yourself daily, and that means you're going to bathe every day. And I've been doing this for a while now, and I used to kind of hate bathing. I would put it off, and it wasn't like I was filthy or something, but uh, I didn't bathe every day. That's for sure. And so I don't take this like, go in and take this huge shower every day. For me, this is what I do. I'll just share with you what I do. Every night as I'm getting ready for bed, I go in, I brush and floss my teeth, and do my little mouth cleaning. I brush my hair, and I get into my tub. I sit down in my tub, and I pour warm water over myself. And I do use soap most of the time in places that it's needed. And I also put on some nights, not every night, I'll put oil all over myself, and I have this little scraper, and I'll do skin scraping. Somebody, I think it was Astral Beam, was asking me about the sparkly skin, and I did look at a couple things about it, although I should probably look into it more. And then with that Jane Tandy woman, she also did a video about finding little microfibers and stuff on the skin. Like, she put like a black light on her skin, and you could see these little fibers and stuff. And to me, that's what this is about. It's getting all that stuff off of your skin every day, because we have all this stuff raining down on us, and this is a dirty environment, and we are wanting to keep our biology clean. If you think about this world that we live in here being inside the body of another, let's say it's a woman. So we live inside of this beautiful woman. Maybe she looks like you. Maybe she looks like whomever. But say we live inside of her. So we're inside of this incredible, beautiful woman. Well, here you are you. There's probably this exact same thing going on inside of you. So this is why we take this kind of care when we understand that we are the body within the body and the body and the body and the body. Because this is the identity that's been hidden from you. So to clean yourself off, to clean the skin off, is going to get all the fibers and the nano and the whatever they're hurling at us on any given day, right? Take a washcloth, get your face. It's more about friction. Do you know that? Like cleaning your skin off is way more about friction. It's not about soap. Soap is actually going to dry you out and stuff. So friction is what you're looking for. This one guy did a really great thing where he showed it. I can't remember how he showed it. It's like you get poison oak on your skin. I don't know if you've ever had poison oak or poison ivy. It's oily. It's an oil. And he showed all you have to do is take a dry cloth and wipe it, really, really hard. It comes right off. If you put it under water and soap and stuff, no, it doesn't move. It doesn't do anything. So cleaning the skin is really about, is about friction. So I get in my little tub every night, and I do my little thing, and some nights I'm going to wash my hair. Some nights I'm just going to rinse. Some nights I take a little baking soda and vinegar to my hair. I'm really careful about products. That's probably a whole nother video. And I do this. This is my routine. I do that before bed every night. And you know what? It keeps my bed really clean. It's a really kind of a nice timing to do it is right before bed, because your bed stays cleaner. So everything's cleaner when you do this. And then it says, and rest the seventh day from labor. So this is a really huge one. And for me, has been the hardest one. This has been the hardest law for me to keep. But I'm getting a little bit better at it right now. I've had a little bit of more space and time to attend to this recently. And so I'm starting to see the benefit of it. Not only does your body and your mind and your heart and all of you get the rest that it needs, because we don't give ourselves this rest. We don't give ourselves a day. You think about our society, think about our culture. It's, you're going. And when I say rest, I mean no internet, no entertainment, no driving around and being on the phone. You put it all down and you be with yourself and you rest. Sleep if you can. Can't sleep? Lay on the couch. I think reading books is a nice way to relax and whatever is right for you. But it is about resting from the things that you're doing every day, including all the maintenance and the cleaning that it takes to keep these laws. Because that's another thing I'm discovering is how to live my life with this kind of maintenance and stuff to keep this going. And why? Okay, okay, my kitchen. If I don't keep my kitchen really, really clean, especially in the winter, we get black ants, those little sugar ants, and they'll just come marching in and they'll be all over the place. So if I don't keep it clean, I got a Holocaust in my kitchen? I got to kill a bunch of ants everywhere? So if I'm going to be not taking away life of creatures, I have to keep my kitchen really, really clean. This is what the cleanliness is all about. And it'll march in on you in every direction. So, I found this huge spider when I was cleaning my books out yesterday. It scared me. But I was like, okay, I'm right outside with it. And was like, here's a nice little place under this bush for you. Have a great day. These things matter. We're sharing this world. We're not the rulers of it, as King James Version will tell you. So, it says keeping holy the Sabbaths and the festival of your Creator. Well, I think that, they talk about keeping calendars and keeping time like this here because when you're in the blue world, you have the sun and the moon, and that is the creation of time. When the light moves, time happens. And so keeping track of it is about keeping this day of rest for yourself. It's about your health. It's about being healthy. And then the last one, number 12, you shall do unto others as you would want others to do unto you. So you should be doing things for people that you would like to have done for you. Now, for me, I have sort of a caution belt with this one because I'm really good at that. And I will do all kinds of things for all kinds of people all the time, and I don't ever get anything back. So I try to aim more of it for myself now and make sure that I'm taken care of and that I'm loved and I'm having my needs met. And then recently I realized that it's just about where I'm going to aim it. So there are people who will take advantage of that kind of nature, unfortunately, in this place where we are now. And so an example for me would, I have a friend who's an older guy, and he lives in a lot of pain. He's an O negative. He's wonderful. He's such a great guy. And I finally convinced him to let me help him once a week. He comes over, and I do this fascia work for him. And I finally got him, like, he'll let me help him. He'll let me do it because he's very humble, and he very much is like, no. But the guy is so hurting that he's the perfect person to aim this kind of kindness at. So be discerning on that kind of thing. You don't have to just treat others as you want them to treat you just across the board. You can't quite do that here, can you? It's a tricky business. If only it were simpler. And maybe there's communities and places in the world where it is simpler. I don't think the old US of A is one of them. So find places where that works, where you can offer something that you would love to have offered back to you to a person who will receive it without looking to take advantage of you. I hope that makes sense. So those are the 12 laws of the blood. And I think that if you keep these laws of the blood, to go back to plasma fire, when that fire comes and you have kept the laws of the blood, it's going to be way easier for you to have the alchemy to hold the fire. So that's sort of how I perceive this. You're listening to my opinions, my speculations, and my viewpoint on this. I've got a lot of people asking me, where are you saying this from? It's coming from me, okay? This is how I see this stuff. And I'm telling you, this is the Holy Gospel of 12. Go pick up a copy for yourself and, interpret it yourself. It's everybody should. So let's see, what was the other thing I wanted to say at the end of this? about the plasma fire. So I'm really starting to get deeper into the biology and understand some of these terms. And I want to bring it to you guys soon. I was just going to mention a couple things that I thought were interesting. That 55% of our body volume is plasma. Okay, and it carries the cells through the body. Plasma carries the cells through the body. And through osmosis, it permeates the membrane of a cell. The word they use is osmosis. Okay, and then the other word I thought was really interesting was the turgor pressure, and it's force within the cell. It's the force within the cell that pushes the plasma membrane against the cell wall, which sort of made me think of electromagnetic energy. So I'm trying to find like how we look at things here and the cosmology and find it within the biology, because that's where I think we are. And that's what I feel that our identity is. And one of the other cool words I found was this word cataplasm. And basically it just means poultice. It's like a heated poultice that you would put on a wound. But, oh, puppy's whining. Hi, baby. You okay? Let's have a treat. And I just thought that was such a cool word, the cataplasm, because it's got like cataclysm in it and plasma in it, and that it's a heated poultice, a healing element. And I just wanted to share that word. I thought it was neat. I'm always struck. Here, baby, sit. I'm always struck by the etymology. So, to me, this is, as I said before, it's really about alchemy. And I perceive this alchemy as, hold on, I gotta hug my doggy here. I love you. I love you. The alchemy of, and maybe I'll do a whole video on alchemy and the nature of what that is. As a small example, it was something I was thinking about this morning is, let me phrase it like this. Recently I felt a little bit naive and silly and innocent about some things that had happened to me and some people that were in my life, and I think I was. I think I was a little naive about what was going on. And then I thought, I don't really want to lose that part of myself. I don't want to lose my innocence. I don't want to lose my naivety. And then I thought about, I'm a smart person. I'm a clever person. I can juggle a lot of different stuff. And then I thought, what? That's what alchemy is, isn't it? It's holding more than one element and using it. The earth, wind, fire, and water, alchemy. And it's about being able to use all the elements within yourself. So, it's not about overcoming any particular thing. It's about learning how to use all of these things in tandem. So I'm going to keep the naivety and the innocence of my heart, and I'm going to be smart and clever enough to know when something's going on. And it's about using these things in tandem, right? And I do actually think it's a whole body thing. It's not just the head and the heart, that's actually my favorite band in the whole world, by the way, the Head and the Heart. And it gets referenced a lot. My friend's business name is the Head and the Heart. So obviously we know there's a connection there, and I do think it's alchemy. I think it's about taking those elements of ourselves and being able to be within the one that is required in the moment, and having the other one still be present as well. And maybe it's deeper than that too, but that's how I'm going to speak to it right now. And I've had a lot of questions from new people and some comments that have struck me that I want to quickly speak to. If you are alone out there and you don't have anybody at all in your life, you are doing some pretty high alchemy, in my opinion. It's people who can be in that role and be by themselves and not be receiving the kind of support and love that most people get, you know, they are really capable. And I honor you. And it's a big deal to be able to stand alone in this world. And not everybody can do it, you know. I've known people who've checked out over that. So this is the time for bravery and valor and courage, and we have to acknowledge that there's a lot of people alone out there, and then they shouldn't be. But, you know, everything's set up in a way that makes it hard for people to even help them. So we're going to get there together. I hear you. I hear your comments that feel like this, and I support your process. And I believe that you can do it. If you found yourself alone and you're still standing, you're really a strong person, and you're doing a great job. So the other thing I want to speak to and ask you guys your opinion about, and this video is longer than I thought it would be, is a lot of people are asking me for communication, private communication with them. And I totally get it. There's a lot of people I want to talk to too. I know that a lot of you guys want to talk to me, and I'm complimented by that. Thank you. Thank you. I want to offer, I wish I could offer everybody a one-on-one and have that not take too much away from me, but it does. It is enough for me to feel all these comments. And let me just say really quick, YouTube is hiding tons of comments from me. I don't see a lot of them. I have to go and dig and dig. And I go to my comment thing and make sure all the boxes are checked so that I should be getting notified for the comments that are left, and I'm not. And some of them seem like bots or something to me, because especially in the middle of the night, I'll get these comments that they would make you sick, you guys, some of the comments I get. And it's just awful. I don't even know if they're people. So it is a lot for me. You know, a lot of people say, oh, just ignore it. Ignore the haters. And it's not about ignoring it. I just want to say that it's about managing it. And as I said to you guys before, I am going to manage it. I promise I will manage it. I just want you to know that it takes a toll on me. YouTube exacts a price for sharing this stuff. It does. And so as much as I would love to have one-on-ones with people, I can't just do that. And I would like to also respectfully ask that you not seek me out on other platforms other than YouTube, Facebook and stuff like this. This is where my intimate friends and family and people I went to school with are. I really don't mix these genres. You know, I need space to talk to people I went to high school with and stuff, and they're not into this. You know, I don't bring this to those forums. So, and it's nothing against you at all. I'd love to talk to all of you. So I did come up with an idea last night about opening a phone line. And I want you guys to give me your honest opinion about this. I will never stop giving you free information. I will never monetize my account. I will never stop sharing on here the full breadth of what I have to say. But what I thought I could offer is a phone line where you could call me and talk to me, set up a call. It'd have to be done through email. You'd need to tell me what you wanted to talk about. I especially want to offer this to women. Men are really cruel to me on here. There's some of you guys, I love men. I love men. Don't take that the wrong way. And there's a lot of guys on here that have been on here for a while, have been talking to me. Joshua Farmer just said some awesome stuff today that I really appreciated. You know, so I know, baby, I'm almost done. And so it's nothing against guys, but I do take a lot of abuse from them. And I do feel like they look for ends with me, and I'm not into it. But I thought I would come up with this phone line where if somebody wanted an hour-long call, I would charge for it. And basically just take this information that I share and apply it to you. You know, apply it to your personal life, your personal situation. There's a lot of things we could talk about. You know, I have a lot of life experience. I have a full-grown daughter that I raised from when I was a teenager. I raised 3 other girls. I was a step-parent. And so I've been, oh, my baby, I love you. I've been a stepmother, and I've been a mother, and I've raised a lot of kids. I've had 3 different businesses that I've had my own businesses over the years. I've been an editor for a curriculum company, and I'm just a wild thinker, and I love people. Can you tell? I love you guys. I love all of this. I love sharing, and I'm getting beat up for it, and I'm still going to do it. So that should tell you how much I care and I love you. So if you guys think it's a good idea to have this phone line to me, I'd be willing to put my time to it. I am starting another business right now that I'm super excited about, but I could split it, you know. So if just let me know. Just give me some feedback on that idea, and we can talk about details another time if everybody likes that idea, thinks it's fair, because my time is precious to me, but I would love to give you some of it. So there we go. That is the law of the blood tonight, and I really appreciate you listening for so long. Much love to all of you.